Okay, hello, hello. Assuming you guys can hear me now. Just setting up a couple more things. We're gonna start at around 3:10, and we'll let people come in. If I have to start about a couple minutes later, I will. I want to start with people here. We'll get started. How's everyone doing today? I've been streaming a very long time. So I just want to see how everyone's been doing since then. My costume. Let's put the new stage. I really like the song on the new stage. Else set up. Let's see. Let me pull up my notes. Probably should just pull this up on my phone. It'd be easier. What up, Zendo? How you been, man? Lurk. John, did he lurk? I've never seen that email. This song is so good. They did a really good job with Wang. I like his theme a lot. His stage, his theme, I like them a lot. Even like the story. I actually didn't do his story, but I need to do it. I'll show you guys some stuff while I'm waiting for people to come in. I don't want to start too early. I found some pretty neat ring outs with the 2-2B leaflet. Let's do the right one. This one's the cooler one. Wow, it didn't go out. Sadness. Either way, it rings out on this little angle. Pretty sick. You can also do the other way with aim SKA. I haven't figured out like I can't speak. Sorry. The specific timing to get the ring out though, because you have to delay this 6K to where they can't air control. See, like that. Then they could air control if someone's back in. But if you time it just right, like that, then they can't air control. But also, this rings out forward so far. Ew, Amy. You came to an Amy stream. Amy player stream. Of course, I'm gonna be streaming Amy. They gave me an idea with the 2-2A. I'm gonna think about using it more, where you can use this on post GI to beat people that, like, you know when you're like strong one, they do 4-4A hold a lot? You can kind of like apply the same thing with Amy. So let's do this. Jordan lied to me. Jordan lied to me. Man, 2-2A is... What a move, man. I have not found an application for this move. It feels bad. What a move, man. So much. You'll never actually hit this move with Talim because it's so slow, but I just love how much damage this does. It just takes so much, even though like it'll never happen. This one is actually pretty funny though, even without it. Even without the lethal hit. This actually happens. It's all guaranteed. I didn't even know that combo didn't work. I guess you can 4PP. I didn't even know it does more damage with tech. Man, this is just all Amy's gonna be this match. It's right here. It's so good. I have to do the same thing with this. You have to delay it. You want the ring out? I didn't know that. The rare CJ stream? I know. I haven't streamed in quite a while. I've been asked to do a Talim guide. A lot of people have asked me to explain how to beat this Mongoloid, so I said I will do it. Because I would be probably one of the best to explain it. Though I will be explaining this from Amy's point of view, a lot of the things I say can be applied with other characters. But there's some things that's like Amy specific, and there's not much. Like early on, and I think in this, it's gonna be very Amy's focused. But when I start explaining like more of how to deal with certain stance pressure and mix-ups, I think that can be applied to anyone because they're usually very common between characters. Says the Amy picker. Hey, I never said my character isn't a Mongoloid, alright? This one is just different, okay? Talim's a different breed. Notes. How many we got? My one pre-guide question is, why are the Talim resources wrong about 4-4B transitions? What do they say about it? Are they saying it's not very good, or is it not specifically negative on block? Because 4-4B is actually a pretty good transition, especially against short-range characters. Oh, thanks for the follow, Lee. Why is my notifications not on? So weird. I guess I'll just check in on him. I was for sure I set up my alerts earlier. I guess I didn't. Oh well. The ones I've seen say 2-2A and 4-4B2 are the same on block. Well, one puts you in crouch and one puts you in standing, but I think both my -12 on block. Or -14 on block, but I don't think they are. You have to do a 4-4B and 2-2A completely differently. 2-2A you can just punish most of the time, 4-4B you can't. Usually I can't do anything about this on, because of Wind Fury. Wind Fury just fucks me. I have to just, like, hard read this. Lol. It was on this, though. Actually, I think I just lose, yeah. I just lose now. They changed to A plus B. Or, Winslow A plus B. I'll give it about a couple more minutes and I'll start up. You might be thinking of something else? I see. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and then probably we can start when I get back. Okay. I am the back. Lee, oh shit. Lee's starting to riot. Help! Go over her transitions? Yeah, we'll be going over all of that. I'm gonna start off with neutral, and then I'll go into transitions, and then I'll go over some of my games, my sets and tournament, and whatnot. And then at the end I'll do a Q&A, and just, like, if anyone's got specific questions on... I'll try most characters, like... Unless it's like a punishment thing, because if it's punishment, I'll tell... I'm not going to lab that for you. Like, people can do that. But if it's like a question specifically, and they don't know how to deal with it, I'll go over it. You join Lee? Oh my god, stop. Stop, please no. Okay. Let's start. Let's get this off. Okay, so... I've been asked to do this guide multiple times, and I finally was like, alright. I'll do the guide because it seems like a lot of people tend to struggle with Amy, or struggle with Talim as Amy. It's understandable. The Matchup is very, very weird. I think the matchup, you have to see it differently, or you have to play differently than you do with, you have to play differently. It's you're very active, man, I'm stuttering so much, guys, I'm so sorry. You have to be very active on defense against this character, and you can't be super aggressive because Talim is a character who has some of the best counter hit tools in the game. So you can't be too aggressive against the character, and you're better off just playing more a very active defense and shutting down her options and limiting her so that she can't play the game, so then you can play yours. Because as soon as you get white, the character, it's really hard for her to deal with your options. Okay, so I always get this question, why do I go purple in this matchup? Why do I think purple is the way you play this matchup? I don't think you should go I think this is like one of the only matchups where I think purple is a good option. I tend to not like rush purple or rush white in any matchup other than probably this, and even then I don't always rush it, depending on the circumstance. If I'm having trouble in the first round and I'm not getting any white roses, I will not go, I will rush it immediately. Just depends on the situation, but most of the time I will try to just get white and shut down Talim. And the reason why is that a lot of Amy's best white raise tools just shut Talim down. Full Crash 214B, Full Crash 3K. These moves I'll explain in a bit why they're so strong against her. So outside of getting white raise is probably the problem. Like, how do you get to white raise? How do you get to the point where you can say, hey, stop being dumb and beat her? The best ways to do it are probably the moves I'm about to show you. The 4B plus K is amazing move. This move is my favorite move in this. Probably one of my favorite moves in this matchup, other than like 3A. It evades a lot of Talim's pressure. What can Talim do, even on hit, to stop it? She has to do something usually very risky. Like, I'll show you like this. So let's say she wants to 2A me and not keep her turn. Now I could just mid parry here, but that's kind of like risky. It kind of loses to stuff. I lose to things like, I lose to some of her counter hits, I lose to lows, like, it loses to a good amount of stuff, but 4B plus K will beat stuff like this, for instance. It beats so many options of Talim's. So then the Talim player has to make like, oh, okay, I have to fish for, like, 4B8, for instance. Let's say they have to do 1K 4B8, because they're like, okay, I'll go for my R14, I'll counter hit. No, it whiffs. She can't do that. So then she's like, okay, I have to go for an I-18? Yeah. This is her best option to stop it, and it's linear. She has to throw, like, this is the only thing she has that can really stop you from 4B plus K, and it's sidesteppable into another white rose. So then she's like, okay, how do I stop Amy from doing these dumb 4B plus Ks? Okay, I guess I'll just reset neutral. But Talim doesn't want to reset neutral. She doesn't want to be in this spot against Amy. She doesn't want to play neutral against Amy. She wants to be just in your face, pressuring you, and running her mind games. And she can't. And it's really hard for her to run that with 4B plus K being a tool, and 3A, which we all know why 3A is such a cool tool. It's already amazing, but it's even better against Talim because one, Talim is a lot of highs, so you're gonna beat almost any high she throws at you all the time. I guess that one's kind of obvious, but it shuts down her stance game so much. Things like her best transitions on block, she can't run that against Amy. Like, look at this. So she's like, alright, I'll win salt. It whiffs. I actually get a punish here. Actually, I guess not there. But in most spots, even then, I'm safe there. I don't even have to run against Talim's mind game there. Even if she whiffs there. She can't punish me, she can't do anything about it. I can just press 3A and beat it. Just like normal characters where they can just 2A here. Amy can 3A, but she gets 6BB into pressure. Better than most characters. Backturn, against backturn, Talim's biggest weakness in backturn is usually a good Hori mid, especially on negative transitions. A lot of times she can disrespect you with a tech crouch, or she can sidestep 2-2A, but Amy doesn't have to deal with that. A good fast tech crouch, tech crouching 3A, just beats it. She can't do anything about this. So if you block any of her things like this, other characters would have to run a mind game on block after this move, but Amy doesn't have to deal with that. She can just press 3A and say, I don't have to deal with this. It's also her best anti-air. Here, let me show you this. This is my favorite one. Actually, AB is a very bad example. Sorry, guys. Look at that. I'm pretty sure 3B whiffs here. Look! Amy's 3B whiffs here. For her 3A. Fucking anti-answer. It's so good in this matchup. 3A and 4B plus K are your best moves when you don't have any resists. These moves are... You'll be mashing this move... You thought you mashed 3A a lot with Amy. You're going to be mashing this move even more, specifically against Talim. This patch, I think 6SB is going to be one of also our best tools against Talim. 6SB is so good against Talim. It's an anti-air. It's now safe on block into a counter hit for a White Rose. It does so much in this matchup. It's so good now. It's going to be so good. I actually... It might be better than 4BB than it was pre-patch against, specifically against Talim, because this gets a Rose on counter hit. 4BB, I guess, and you had a red road Roses to even have 4BB. So this is even better when you don't have Roses against Talim. You're better in no Rose Amy than... Or your no Rose Amy is better this patch than it was pre-patch because of this move. Okay. I think I have talked about like the best neutral tools. Let's go on to like I'll know some notable mentions. Like 6A. 6A is also very good in this matchup. I think you should use this move quite often as well. Biggest reason why it's like 6A KB is really strong. It gives a White Rose. It puts you at a range where Talim doesn't want to be at. Then you also have 6AA. If they're really just sidestepping 6A KB, but then you also can just do one part if you really don't want to take the risk. It also is an anti-air in a lot of spots, and will beat out Talim. I don't know remember what spots. There you go. There's one. This one I can't like show in lab because I usually just apply it in neutral and like ambiguous spots, so it's kind of hard to explain otherwise. But as you can see in here, like it also anti-airs her, and I don't know if you get a Rose though. Yeah, it whiffs. On the Airborne, but it's still anti-airs her nonetheless because you need to be able to have good Mystic and anti-air this character, or having some way to stop her from doing it, even if it's a high. Sorry if I start a little bit, guys. It's my first time doing something like this. All right, let's move on to White Rose. So, White Roses, big things like when you get White. So after we've acquired White, we've landed our 4B plus Ks. We've landed our mid parries. We've landed our neutral tools. Also, before we move on to White Rose, mid parry is also extremely good in this matchup for one big reasons, is that a lot of her plus on block transitions, mid parry 3A will beat like your two options, her two best options, which I'll also explain a bit more in detail in a minute. But this move is also very strong against Talim, and gives us a White Rose, which you should be going for mid parry K in this matchup. To get White Roses. I think that's where I built my habit of doing like mid parry K into ring outs. It's from playing against this character so much, so I could get ring outs like this and whatnot. Because you need to know like distinguish where to do mid parry K and when to mid parry AK. Like looking at their health bar, looking where they're on the screen. It's very important in general. Anyways, so when we got Whites, 2-1-4B easily shuts down this character better than anything in the game, I think. This move is Talim's bane. Talim struggles against this move so hard. So in the spots where I was like earlier, I was like, hey, you can just 3A any of these like her best plus on block transitions. You can just mash 2-1-4B, and this move will beat anything into a Rose. Okay, well, sorry guys. I'm not very good at this game. Can't get my Rose out. Here we go. See, you get a Rose every time. And then when we have purple, this is going to do 65 damage. 60 damage. Every single time we make a read on one of her transitions. Her plus on block ones. This is what she does on Oki. And if we read the mid player one, or if we read the mid, we get the same amount of damage. We're doubling her damage. Look how much she gets. She gets this much. So when we have White, we make everything she does into stance so risky. And it's even more risky when in her blind stance, too. Because if she does anything, like this, boom, White Rose CE, then we get like 60-something damage. Alright. Oh, the best, my opinion, the best move, Full Crash 3K. This move is really good outside of Soul Charge against Talim. But this move is even better in White Rose because we get 2-1-4B off of it. We get this. We get a Rose. Man, I can't do him today. We get 46 damage, and then if we get into a Rose, which is amazing because we get purple quicker, or we get 60 damage. Or we can do CE for like 80. The biggest reason why this move is so good against... Sorry guys if I'm also talking too fast. I'll try to slow down a little bit. Another big thing is that Talim can't step this move consistently. I'll show why. So let's have Amy do an A into a full crouch K. So I'm gonna have Talim step guard here. Because this is a full crouch move, Talim can't like... Look, I'm holding step. Caught. Step. Caught. She can't step this move unless she, like, reads the move. She has to specifically read it. Then she can punish it. So this move is insane, because most of the time, you're going to get this kind of situation, where you do that, and then you're just going to see her. You're going to catch her step, and then you're going to just press C, and you're going to get like 80 damage. This is why this move is so good. It's because of full crouch. Full crouch moves will realign with our opponent. But Talim specifically, her size up is not very... She's very fat on like the sides for some reason. Her elbows like stick out. So she gets tracked even harder by this move, more than any other character. So it's even harder for her to step. Also, it's amazing anti-air. This thing anti-airs so well. Might be hard to show this. Might be hard to show this, guys, so sorry if I can't. But this will anti-air her in a lot of spots. Like that. And this is common. You'll get these in things like after... I have to switch characters again to show it. Here we go. This isn't a little bit less uncommon because of this nerf this patch, or the buff Talim got this patch, but this is common, like off of a lot of her jump-ins. Full Crash UK will just anti-air her. It's fat, it does a lot of damage. Like, look at this damage. 83 damage. So in this matchup, we can kind of just be a little bit more on the defensive side. I think this matchup is a matchup where you don't want to be, like, you can be aggressive. You obviously want to be aggressive with Amy, because Amy is a great aggressive character, but you need to know the spots when you should, what's it called? You need to know when to be aggressive and when to be defensive, which you can see in the matchup. There's a lot of spots where we can kind of just take our turn back in neutral. And neutral and from her stance game. We can be very disrespectful. But I think the biggest thing is that just be active. I think letting Talim just run her mind games is like the worst thing to do. You want to always try to be doing something against her offense and not just standing there and statue blocking her. Because statue blocking this character all the time is just going to lead to situations like this. You can't be doing this against Talim. You need to challenge, even with other characters. Let's say you play Keelik. 2Aing here is good. Other characters can do this too. A delay 2A on this. Sorry, let me short hop. You have to short hop to do this. Because this is what Talim players will do. Wow, it just whiffs now. This is new. You used to just trade. It would beat her. Maybe this is new in the new season. So, Talim got a lot of changes this patch, so some things may not be applied the same as they do. So, or like they applied last patch. So sorry if I'm in the middle of my sentence and I'm wrong, because they changed a lot this patch, and a lot of my info is just from my experience the last, like, 2 years, and specifically the last couple months. So some things are a little bit different, and how Talim works, but overall it's pretty similar. But some things like what I just showed there, they're not the same as they used to be. But even then, look, she's not getting her mix up if you do a delay 2A, instead of just standing there. Because a lot of people I see do this, they'll stand here against Talim with any character, and they'll just take this mix-up. When you don't have to take this mix-up. Anyways. Defense is for losers like CJ. Only beta males use defense. Alright, guys. You're so funny. You were just bitching earlier about how you don't know this matchup, Icy, so shut the fuck up. Alright. I think I've explained a lot of the neutral tools. Okay, let's say as an Amy player you're like, I'm not gonna do this white rose stuff shit. I'm JJ, fuck this, I'm just gonna go red roses. I'm a cool guy, I'm just going red roses and I'm gonna mash my fucking brains out. Hey, you can do that. It's not a bad idea, but I think it's a lot less inconsistent. I think it's inconsistent is the way I would put it, because I think a lot of the red rose tools are inherently weaker against Talim, specifically like things like 4AA, because of Talim 4-4B. This move is so good against Amy, and it's so hard to deal with until you have white. Without it, you just kind of have to take the guess, because she can lethal hit you. It's good on block. It's a very good move in general. Nice hitbox there. CJ, what up, What up, Julie? Alright, let's start with the biggest complaint I hear from people when they're fighting Talim as any character. Ahri. They're like, ugh, how do I deal with this Ahri cancel? She's just doing this to me, and I don't know how to deal with it, man. It's so hard to deal with. So Talim got a big change this patch. Really big, and I think this is something I think a lot of people know about. See if I can show this. This is a good example. This happens. You see I got tracked there? If you mash Sice up now, if you just press 2-2. It's in... Her thing doesn't realign anymore. And you can now punish it. But, there's a problem. If you step the wrong way, you get tracked. You have to specifically sidestep this, and it still realigns. This is annoying, and there is no real answer to her Ahri cancel. But there's ways to deal with it better. Like, there's ways you can definitely deal with the Ahri cancel, so that you're not just constantly just getting hit by it. For example, the biggest ones I can think of, what I do when I see Ahri cancels like this, and neutral. I do a delay 3A. Delay 3A beats the majority of stuff, like this. If you time it right, it beats her doing any type of transition. The only thing I have a problem with now, this patch, is now that the 3A is RE unsafe. So it might be a little bit less effective. But this is still really strong against Talim, nonetheless, because if you know, unless she like specifically just does it immediately, and I don't even think she does it immediately. Yeah, delay 3A still beats it. Yeah. So, anyways, Amy delay 3A will just beat this outright in neutral all the time, and that's what I usually do, so I don't have to deal with the mix-up like a lot of characters have to. Now on post GI, it's a lot different. I haven't fully labbed the change on this one, but what I would do in the previous patches was just sidestep guard, and I don't get punished by anything. I'll try to show this. Sorry guys. Hold on. The wind salt didn't come out. Nice. So, Amy 46K is RE safe, by the way, guys, if anyone doesn't know this already. I was trying to have her do wind salt, but it's not coming out for some reason. Loving this character can be really annoying at times, I'm not gonna lie. Because, like, you have to have this kind of stuff. You have to have the bot do something like this, and it's so annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Here we go. This is new to this patch. Now you can do like an RE safe move and step, and you can usually consistently step it. Which was not, you couldn't do that previous patches.
Before, you could just do a step guard, and it would beat, like, majority of stuff. Or some characters could single A and beat everything. But now you can kind of step. Most characters can step. I think outside of Asbo and Mitsurugi, they can't step it still, because their steps are pretty bad. But most characters can just step there now, and there's nothing they Talim can do about it. Which, in my opinion, is really, really big. Some characters can punish it. I don't know if Amy can. She might be able to 6 A plus B. But that's the best way to do with it. If you want to do with it safe, step guard. After like you do an RE safe move. If not, do what I just said earlier with delay 3A. That's the biggest way to deal with it. Keylek delay AB is really good against RE cancels for similar reasons. Yeah, exactly. A lot of any character that has like a single A into like a string like that. Really, I think it has it the best. Like Keylek, for example, I always thought he had one of the best ways to deal with it because he gets a launch off of his. All right, RE cancel done. I think that's like the biggest complaint I hear. Let's go on. All right, so stance transitions. This is where people get confused and they're like, I don't know how to deal with Talim. Help me. Okay, so let's do with 6SA plus B. So I explained this kind of a little bit earlier, but if you do a delay 2A. Or a 3A if you're Amy, because Amy can just 3A. This is going to be everything. It's going to be Wind Fury AA. It's going to be Wind Fury BB. It's going to beat her grab. It beats everything, except for the K. This is the only thing it loses to. But what this loses to? Mid parry. When you have white, this is where it gets even better. This is where this is what I'm talking about with white, where I think it's really strong. Because when you have white, everything that I just said with 3A is now you can do with 2 and 4B. The only thing it loses to is she has to not go into stance and just block. Which, if you get Talim to do this, you are winning in itself. You're making the Talim player stop her mix-ups completely. She has to do nothing to stop you, which is a win, in my opinion. She's not doing her stance games. Onto Windsalt. Windsalt, and off of these plus on block transitions, is the exact same way. 2A, delay 2A or 3A, as I said earlier. It's going to beat everything. Outside of Windsalt A plus B. This is the only thing it loses to. But this also is minus 14, which 2 and 4B will punish it. Another reason why 2 and 4B is so good. It punishes this for 60 damage. Or Purple C, which is another big tool in this matchup that's actually probably one of the best tools against Talim. I didn't really mention it earlier, but Purple C or White Red C is very strong against Talim. I-12 and Cs in general are. Either way, mid parry also beats this. 53 damage, and we get a Rose. So similar situation, as I said earlier. The only thing it loses to, I believe, is 3A loses to, is this. This is the only thing I personally think is scary. But I have to say, not many Talim players will do this. They don't tend to go to Wind Fury after their plus on block transitions. Because they don't really want to. It doesn't lead to anything otherwise. Because if you just block, they also have to do the wind cannon immediately to even get it. They can't react to you doing it. So they have to do an immediate wind cannon, which is like minus 20 on block. So they're never going to do this. It's so risky to do that. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking. Negative transitions. I have talked about, by the way, trust transitions I was talking about were 6SA plus B and 6AA. These are the two big ones that I can think of that where I have the similar options of either mid parry 3A most of the time. Now negative transitions. This one's a personal option, and this is what I do. A lot of Talim players like to go into Windsalt after things like 6XA, 6BB. Like, these really, really negative transitions. And a lot of the time, you can just beat them outright with Windsalt. You can beat it with you just step duck. So Windsalt A plus B won't track you here, because it's not plus on block. So you can just step duck. Beats B. And the only thing that will track is the B, or the A, I meant. Sorry. Which this patch I think A is very strong against Amy because of the Wind Charmer nerf. You used to be able to just full crash 3k that every time, but they changed Wind Charmer this patch, so I can't do that every time now. It'll lose to this. So it's not... I thought at last patch this was really hard for Talim to deal with, because then she couldn't really Winsult. But now that it's a lot safer, I don't know how to feel about it yet, personally. This being a lot safer and be able to step full crash 3k is big. Because before you could just do this every time and you would get a 60 damage, 65 damage, 80 damage punish, and you don't get to that anymore. So that's really annoying, personally. But it still nonetheless shuts down Winsult completely and the mix-up, and having to guess. It loses to... Step Deck will not lose to Wind Fury because there's nothing she can do that can punish it. And you can... Like, you're Step Ducking here. Like this. It's like, you just... It's negative transitions like this, you... Step Duck beats everything, usually. Usually I don't like the proponent of Step Duck beats everything, but this is like the one opportunity or situation I'm like, yeah, it's really good, and you should just Step Duck here. Because even look, the B just whiffs here. I've never understood this one. I've never understood this one. It just whiffs. Then she launches you and calls you an idiot? What are you talking about? What specifically are you talking about? Blocks 2 and 4B? Oh. I mean, yeah. I mean, if she wants to do that, sure. But I don't really care, to be honest. Like, I'm shutting... she has to go not into stance just to beat 2 and 4B, and then her punish is like 40 damage into stance. I don't know, man. I don't get really scared, because I'm also in white, rose, or purple. So if she even does 6BK here, the mind game is not in her favor. Like, the damage she gets off of these, the mid is the only thing that's somewhat scary, and even then, you can step both the mix-ups here. The only thing you get hit by is A. Which then, mid-parry beats a lot here. Does Wall Rising A lose to too much after Winsult A? It loses to her doing nothing. This is what I was going to go into next, is Winsult A. So Winsult A, I thought, last patch against Amy was really bad. Or, like... If Amy blocked it, it was really bad for the Talim player. This patch, I don't think it's not anymore because she can step full crash 3k. This is big. It still does beat this, and you used to get this cool combo. And it would beat this. So you would get really good punishes. So Rising A will beat everything, but her doing nothing. Or it beats everything but nothing, yeah. See, like that. It'll whiff. That's why I think 6SA is the best way, to be honest. This patch, I think as Amy, for everyone, I'm gonna talk about this. I think 6SA is the best option. You don't really, unless you want to War Rising A and you know she's not gonna do it, then it's probably the best option. Then you could do that. I personally like 6SA the most, because it punishes everything, and you don't get punished by Winsult at all. Wall Rising A might be the better play, though. I don't know. I haven't tested this one. This is the only change I am unsure on, and I don't know how to feel about yet. Because I was going into this today, thinking like I knew everything, but this I found out last night. I just found out last night that this is steppable, which is... I'm not gonna lie, I was tilted. I immediately just texted Win, I was like, Wind Charmer, and I was like, I'm really upset about this. I was like, come on, man. I blocked your low, why am I in a mix-up still? So dumb. Anyways. Let's go on. So, ABA, ABB. Okay. This is actually a lot better this match. It used to be minus 14. You could punish it with 3 every time. Even if she went into stance, she wouldn't have enough time to do it. With the change, you can't really do that anymore. on AABB specifically. I'm talking about AABB specifically, guys. Sorry. I think personally taking the B though here is okay. I personally don't mind ducking here. I personally like to duck because I like to get the punish on AA to get a rose with Amy. The reward to get a rose here is so good. By the way, do this while raising BB immediately, guys, because she can. If you don't do it immediately, I'm pretty sure she can step. Oh, she can just step it cleanly in this patch. Before this would track her. Again, these are some things I'm not unsure on because the Wind Charmer change really changed a lot. This right here is really good. I used to just go for that. But I still like the duck here. I still like ducking here a lot. A lot of Talim players don't like doing B. They really don't like doing it. Plus, Amy can mid-parry. If you know what the specific one they're going to do, you can just go for a high parry or a mid-parry with Amy. I think it's risky, personally, but because you will get hit by B on counter hit if you do high parry, which now leads to a combo, I believe. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, so it's only 2A plus B counter hit. Okay, that's cool then. It's actually not bad then. Then going for high parries are not a bad idea. I don't do it very often though, so. Sorry guys, I'm labbing this myself, or some of these spots But those spots I do like to duck. After AAB, or AABA. I like to duck most of the time. AABB doesn't really scare me too much. What else was I gonna say? Oh. If they start noticing that you don't like to do, or if they feel like the risk is not in their favor, because as soon as you get white and you make a read on any of these parries, you kind of delete her because of these, or even ducking it. You do full crash 3K. And you get your 60 damage. They might just start doing this a lot. And going for like other pressure options. This is minus 16, which is I think very important to know. And you should punish her for doing this if you know. You should punish the Talim player for doing 3 parts. If they keep doing it. If they keep doing this, you're not gonna react to this because it's not reactable. But you should definitely, if they do this a lot, you should know to be able to punish this. So she doesn't do it freely every time, because Amy gets a very big punish for it. 84 damage. This one, you just kind of have to know that she's gonna do it, but it's something you guys should know. Is all there is to it. So I've explained 6XA. I've explained. Oh, punishment. 6BB. This is you just 6XA here, guys. She has nothing, no answer to this. You just 6XA every time, and it gets out of everything. No mix-up. The mix-up's gone. She has no answer to this. So just if you block 6XB or 6BB, just 6XA every time. Same with full crash 3BB. I believe it's the same way. Yeah, same way. You just 6XA. Full Crash 3A and 4K don't work on Windsalt A, by the way, guys. Full Crash 3A will lose to Windsalt. I'll show you. See? Whiffs. There is no, this is my biggest problem with it, is that this whiffs. This used to be good. Sucks. And then 4K loses because if she just does one, if she doesn't go into stance. But also, it's not a normal combo, so at that point, you should just wall raising A. My mid wall raising A beats it? Hey, you know, just 3A. I should just 3A. Wait. RCC 3A. Brain. Wait, guys. We might have found the technology for this patch. Oh my god. RCC 3A. Look at it. The knowledge. The technology. Here we go. There we go. We're good. We're set. We have the punish. Look at that. There you go, guys. That's how you beat it. Just RCC 3A every time. Smile. I might actually start doing this. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually good. We have another punish, but doing this input is kind of annoying. You have to do 2-8 3A. Bro. Actually, you could do 2-6. Actually, 2-6 is actually easier, probably. Maybe it's not. I'm having an easier time with 8. Either way, I find it very funny that we have to use that to punish them now. Fuck this character. 4-4-B. Okay, this is probably the last two I want to explain, or move I want to really deeply explain, because this move is probably the biggest problematic move without roses. I probably should have went this over earlier, but there is no right answer to doing with 4-4-B because of the pushback on it. You're in crouch, which is pretty important. If you weren't in crouch, then this wouldn't be nearly as bad. You have no way to deal with Windsalt, other than doing like a hard read on Wind Fury. Sorry, there's no way to deal with it outside of a hard read. Until you have white. Without white, you have to just hard read it. Otherwise, if you think she's gonna go for these, she's gonna go for Wind Charmer. Wall Rising K will just beat it. If she goes for any mix-up on this, I'm pretty sure Wall Rising K still beats this. Yep, beats it. So the only thing you lose to is this and Wind Fury. I personally just like to step guard. I just step guard or something like that. There's no right answer to this. I treat it like I treat this better than I treat 6A+B, to be honest. It's very hard to deal with for Amy. Though when you get white, it's a lot easier. Then we just 2-1-4-B. And even if she doesn't go into stance, it punishes her. I think it loses to one move, and it's 2-1-4-B, Windsalt B. Yeah. The only thing it loses is this. Which is the same mind game we were talking about earlier, where you can do mid-parry or that. So then, when you have white, you just do 2-1-4-B mid-parry, and she has no answer to it. Best way to put it, it's hard to deal with without roses, but when you get white, it's a lot easier. I think I've explained mostly the neutral. I have explained the neutral. Let's do the Q&A now. Is there any questions you guys have that I could explain more? Or maybe I didn't explain well enough, or is there anything you guys struggle with that I should explain more? With any character, even if I don't care who it is. I don't know, Grow, Keelik, Sig, anything. I'm down to explain. On Talim or Anti-Talim. Yo, I need help dealing with Sig. I can't help you there, man. Siegfried is broken. Please nerf him. Nah. What are you talking about, Scav? Yeah, that's what I was curious about. Is he's meeting Talim as Siegfried. Also, thanks for the follow, Red Wolf. I just saw your message. Sorry. My notifications are messed up right now. I don't know. I turned them on, but they're not going off for me for some reason. I guess Steam Labs doesn't have it set up correctly. If not, if there's no questions... If there's no more questions you guys got, then I can just go over some VODs and show what I'm doing in my matches. It might be... I thought that'd be really helpful for everyone, just to show in-game how to deal with her. Going over the new 2BA stuff? Yeah, that's a good idea. I believe this is -12 on block, is what Win told me. I believe 2A just beats everything here. I believe so. I don't know. If you have a traditional 2A, I think 2A just beats everything. Yeah. Because this is minus 12. Yep. You just 2A. There's not much to it other than that. Oh, the new stuff. This is important to know. This is for anyone. So this move right here. Minus 12 on block. She has a cancel. She can do that. She can cancel into in stance. Let's say they cancel into stance, and they're gonna like, oh, you thought she's gonna. Okay, so if you see this, just mash your I-12 punish. I think majority of characters I-12 punish. If you do them immediately and don't fuck it up, we'll just keep punishing this. There's no way out of this. So if you see this low and you think, or you see the stance transition, treat it like you treat Siegfried base hold A plus B, where you just mash your punish. There's no. The only thing she can do is do one part. Which is, yeah, she can do that. That's actually pretty good. I think this is what Talim players are going to start doing when people learn how to fight her, or learn how to deal with this move specifically. But early on, they're going to just do the string every time, and you need to show them that you know how to deal with it. Loses to 2A, loses to 2BA. I mean, the parry's not very good, man. I'll show why. This is what I'm fine with. I'm fine with her doing this. Cool. I get. You're right. You're right. I think Amy can still White Rose. Yeah, Amy can just punish this. I think she's one of the few characters that can just punish this here. I can just White Rose CE and punish her for doing this. She can't get out of this, I believe. Maybe she can spin it? Maybe? Let's see. I believe White Rose CE just still punishes this. Yeah. She has no out to it. You're right, I should mention that, because not every character can do this. This is Amy specifically. Like, we can just punish this. Other characters, I don't think there's a way for them to deal with this. But Amy players, just mash C if they do this to you. Just mash Virus C if you have meter. Because in the later rounds, it's a 90 damage punish. Outside of that, I also don't mind swinging into this. Because I can also just 6SA. And 6SA is just going to beat a lot of stuff other than her doing nothing. But she gets her buff. But her buff, I really don't think her buff's that scary. Because all she gets out of her buff, guys, she gets this. So her 6SA has more range. Doesn't bother me. Personally, I'm Amy. I'm going to be... I don't care if she has this. It doesn't change where I'm going to challenge her and whatnot. 6SB is a special mid. This is a buff. This is worse for Talim as Amy. Because now we can just mid parry this. Look. And it's a special mid, so it's not like she can kill you. The only thing I don't like is 2-2A. Because this is, what's it called? Safer. I also love how she says Aba desio. Aba desio. Weapon Atsu. This is actually the only thing that matters, I think, in my opinion. Because this is safe. This is the only thing that scares me. But even then, I treat this usually the same way. Because a lot of longer ranges, like this, I can't punish this anyways. She spaces this correctly, which a lot of good Talim players do this. Win and Grandmouse does this a lot. They'll space this to where I can't punish this in general, and I'll get whiff punished. So this doesn't bother me. But yes, this will, what's it called? You have to just be a little bit more precautious with 2-2A. By the way, 2-2A as a normal punish, guys. In normal range, you can just AK every time. And we just punish it. If she has this buff, your best options, in my opinion, are 3A to beat Wind Charmer and Wind Salt. To beat Wind Fury, you just do 6-6 plus B. So you just do this. 3A or 6-6 plus B on the new move. That move is really good. This is the only buff move I think is scary, to be honest. The other two moves I think are... This doesn't really matter too much, in my opinion, against Amy. 6-6B is worse against Amy because she can mid-parry it now. When Fury 2-2A, change your punish for some characters, like try 5k or when WNB 2-2A4. Okay. Yeah, that's what... I'm sorry if I just saw that now, but... Amy's 5k I don't think works. I don't believe so, but I'll try. Yeah, it doesn't even work on the original one. Yeah. This is probably a safe way to punish it, actually. Now that you're mentioning Zendo, this is actually a safe way to punish it, probably. Yeah. That's a good option, actually. Now we can do things like this. Shoutouts to Zendo, guys. He's brain. So for a lot of characters, 5k will actually catch the 2-2A. Okay, that's really good for your other characters. I did not know that. That's really good then. Amy specifically, that's fine. But right there, that's fine. That's how we dealt with it before. So it doesn't really change too much. But either way, I don't think these new buffed moves are too scary, to be honest. I think Talim as a character this patch, people are saying she's buffed. I don't think she's buffed, to be honest. I think she's like normal. I think she's about how she was last patch, but I think that the nerfs she got to things like Wall Rising B 6B, this not catching your step anymore on hit, that is big, very very big. Because before you would just get this into grab, or this into this. You would either or this into whatever she wants to do because she's plus 10 in your face. And that not stop catching step anymore is big, very big. Now we can just step a lot, and or we can step freely now and not be caught. Oh, last two moves, and then I'm gonna move to VOD. 6BK. Amy's Wall Rising K will beat any type of pressing. It'll beat the mix-up. So if you don't want to get mixed, it beats that. In my opinion, do one part, guys, by the way. Because this is why you only want to do one part. What if she blocks? The only thing this loses to is 2-2A. It loses that, but 2A beats it. 3A also beats it. I'm pretty sure even 3B beats it. No, we're in crouch. Full crouch 3K beats it. If you do, I tend to delay it. I do this a lot. I'll delay my full crouch 3K because I know the Talon player wants the 2-2A. This move is you're gonna be. I think you use this move more a lot, and I think this move is very strong in general. But I think this move specifically in this matchup is even stronger, and I'll show in my VODs in a minute. 3A. Amy. 2A trades. I 3A her a lot. I don't care. This is how I see it. I get if she does any mix-up, I counter hit her. And I get 3A counter hit, which is really good. The only thing I lose to is a 2A, which Talim 2A, in my opinion, is good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not actually pretty bad. It's not that bad. 2A on hit is, like, kind of scary, kind-ish. But there's nothing, like, too... She doesn't have, like, a big mix-up like other characters. So, it's not as bothersome as, like, I don't know, Survey or something. Even on Survey, I don't think. It's because he's in crouch. Talim 2A, I don't... this is how I see it. It's not something that's like, oh my god, this is scary, but it's like, it's definitely a threat, and you gotta know your options. Because if you get hit by her 2A... Step is pretty good. The only thing you lose to is 6SA. Which... Eh? Well, sorry, did the wrong option. I needed to do an option that loses to 3A. A lot of the time, also, you can disrespect Talim on hit. I didn't mention that earlier, but you can disrespect this character a lot on hit, too. You might not be able to do 3A here, but a lot of things like this... This is a big one. I see a lot of people respect this one. Do not respect 6BB hold. This shit is... It's another one of her plus on block transitions that you don't have to respect because it's not very good. Look at this. You can just do what we were talking about earlier. You just 3A or 2-1 for B or mid parry. It's not scary. It's not something you need to be like, oh my god, please don't do that, Talim. When Talim gets scary, in my opinion, is when she has you on the ground. When Talim has you on the ground, I think that's when the character... Yeah, that's when it can be annoying, because then this stuff happens. This is where Talim gets scary. But if you don't let her get to that position in the first place, which Amy can do very well, then it's fine. Man, I didn't mention Soul Charge at all, too. Let's go with Soul Charge, too. I thought we're doing VOD review, but we don't do VOD review out yet. I have a lot more to explain, actually. Okay. Okay, ABB. Oh, nice. I'm not very smart. My controller doesn't have a thumbstick, so I can't, what's it called? I have to make sure it does that every time. Okay. So, ABB. It's okay to take this. It hurts your guard gauge, but I see a lot of people RI this. It's okay. I think it's good to RI. But I don't think you should be... It's good to RI in specific spots. I think it's good to RI when you're in low on guard gauge. I think this is a good time to RI so you can get your guard gauge back. But I really don't think you should be doing this all the time, because you're going to die to this. That's why you don't want to RI there every single time. And I see a lot of people do this, and they'll get blown up by that, and you don't want to do this every time. It also beats this, which, you also can GI both of these moves, by the way, outside of Soul Charge, which is really good. But again, she can lethal hit you, so she has counterplay. These are things that you should check the Talim player with, is what I say. I check the Talim player with things like this. Like, Talim players will do this a lot. They'll be like, oh, I'm just going to go into Wind Charmer and do a mix-up. And you're just going to die. They're going to do, I don't know. Something like that. I'm going to do two things. Either I'm going to respect this because she has 6-6-A-A-A-B. So I'm scared. Let's say I'm scared of this. Which, by the way, is a very good move. You can GI the 3rd and 5th hit. God, I keep forgetting to not. Let's just do this. Let's do this. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. So I don't keep just doing that, because I keep going out of it. Why is her Soul Charge going down? Am I stupid? Oh, they moved it. My bad. I was looking at the old spot. You can GI the third hit and the fifth hit. There you go. Mash your GI here. It's not coming out though, for me. I don't know why. What is this? There you go. That was so weird. My GI is just not coming out sometimes here. I don't know why. What is... Why is my GI not coming out? You can GI the fifth hit here every time, guys. I don't know why it's not coming out, though. They didn't change this at all. There it is. There. I was doing it too late. I was doing it too late. There you go. My bad. So you can GI the third and fifth hit. I recommend doing the fifth hit. If you're going to GI the string and you think she's going to finish the string, GI the fifth hit. This is why. A lot of people do this. They'll be like, alright, she's going to do that string. Then this happens to them. This. Bye. Goodbye life total. That does like 95 damage. So GI the fifth. Don't take this mix-up if you think she's going to do it. But hey, we're Amy, guys, so you got white roses. This is probably why I had trouble GIing it, because I just mash mid parry here a lot of the time. I'm just like, no. We can just do that. Pre-patch, this right here, we could just GI the third hit. Every time. Because the threat would just get mid parried. But because they nerfed white res mid parries this patch, and they don't last as long, you can't do that anymore. You used to be able to just mid parry and it would be this and this. It was broken. You literally just, the Talim player couldn't do anything about this. But they nerfed it. So it doesn't do that anymore. Which makes me kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie. It was so good. Okay, well, now what I was going back on earlier. GIing this right here is good. I personally think it's good to GI this every now and then. She does have a leaflet. I know she has a leaflet. Not many Talim players ever go for it, though. They never do this. They never do this. Maybe I'll eat my words and someone will, Talim player will do this to me. But they never do this to me. I just GI this a lot of the time in Soul Charge because a lot of them want to go for this mix-up. It does so much damage, and it's a 50-50, so I just get out of it. Or this is what I do. I do, let's say they do this. I just 3A them so they never get to this point in the first place, which is the better option. The safer option is just to do this. Get to the point where they never get to the mix-up in the first place. Because getting hit by this, or this, does not change in Soul Charge. The mix-up doesn't change. They don't get more... They get the slight damage increase because of Soul Charge, but it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change them for better and more increased damage. Amy-specific things, we can mid-parry the second hit of this. You used to be able to step it. I would just step parry every time, but you can't do this anymore. They changed that, so just mid-parry if you have purple. Remember to mid-parry this. And purple. I think I've gone over most of the strings. Oh, you can mid-parry this too. I will mid-parry this. Because Talim players will do this over and over and over, and I'm just like, alright, we'll just 65 damage punish you for doing that every single time, you idiot. Okay, let's do the VOD review now. I think I've gone over everything. If you try to guess low, mid-low on Soul Charge, Wind Charmer A follow-ups, you're doing it wrong. I agree 100%. Don't do it. Don't do this to yourself. It's not worth it. Alright, I'm gonna pull up my VODs now, and I'll show a couple matches and explain what I'm doing here. Alright. Nice. Thanks, Twitter. Alright, let's do... I was looking at my Slide Tiger sets. Let's do the fire one first.
But we will see.
Alright, let's do the first match. I'm assuming you guys can see this.
I got serious.
Yeah, you guys can see that. Wind Charmer AA, it can be delayed? No. It is one button. Alright. So. This is I think my first match against Fire. I think in the set I played pretty often the first round. I think I was trying to figure him out. This was in the Boominati, and he had just played. I hadn't played at all. So in this first round, I was kind of like warming up and whatnot, and I was like trying to figure out what he was trying to do. And you can see that in this set. I'm trying to slowly figure out what he's trying to do in his options. All right, I just ran up to 2B, Amy things. As you can see, I'm doing a lot of 6A, 6AK, trying to fish for white raises. I remember from the last time I fought Fire that he would duck into it a lot, so I was fishing for it a lot in the early rounds, see if he would give it to me. Alright, I whiffed a 2-2B. Man, I don't know why I did that. It's nice to see like improvement in my gameplay over time, because I definitely see it. Yeah, like mid-pairing there is I don't think it's very good, guys. Right here. Right after an A plus B against Talim. Yeah, it beats 4B and 6B, but it loses just so many options. Like this, 3A, delay 3A, 6S A plus B beats it. Don't do that. Don't go for a mid-parry here. Okay. He had my timing. That was good by him. This is when I think I slowly... I started figuring him out. I got 2 white raises. I do a lot of 6A KB right now. Got hit by a 2-2A. Yep. Now this is where I just Amy him in the corner. I don't know why he was doing this. You never... from a Talim's perspective, don't 8B here. Don't do this if you're a Talim player. This doesn't do much for you. It doesn't win. Because look, now you're both back turn against Amy, and Amy's back turn is broken. She has a backflip. How are you going to contest her? Don't AB here if you're a Talim player. This is just from someone that plays Talim versus Amy so much. Don't do this. It's so bad. Doesn't do to you anything. No disrespect towards Fire, by the way. I love Fire. Love him. This is just something I'm looking back in the sets, and I'm sure he would agree. I hope you guys are fine with just the music. So I don't get talked over. A good option here against 4-4K. I just learned this recently. It's just a 3A here. Again, because she's back turn. You don't have to go for a mix-up here. Just 3A here as Amy. If she blocks it, oh well. You're Amy. Someone blocking your 3A is okay. Wow, my spacing was nice there. Alright, I got purple. Now I just I just do whatever I want. That can be punished now. See? This is what I was talking about earlier. See how I just mid-paired right here, and it just beat both? That doesn't exist anymore, sadly. It was so good. It would just OS it. I'll answer questions, by the way, at the end of this, at the end of this round. I mid-paired A, B, B. I'm playing a lot. I'm playing kind of an aggressive now. Now that I have purple, I get a lot more aggressive, I feel like, in this matchup. I'm tossing full crash 3Ks. I'm just running Amy mind games now because every read I make is just death for Talim here. And every time she tries to do the same thing, it's like I get triple the damage if I read her. Oh, okay, I just went the opposite direction. Let's go. Wow, what a tech crouch. That was a bad 2-1-4B. Oh god. My mistake. My bad, guys. I think I end up losing this round. I played this round. I remember this. I made a lot of mistakes in some of these rounds. Yeah, he just seed. I think. Yep. So when she's in soul charge, guys, do not mid parry here. This is a mistake I made a lot when I used to make a lot when I played against Talim. Mid parrying when she has soul charge and she does a C like that, you get blown up by Wind Charm or AA here. And as you can see, look how heavily I got punished for doing this. It's not worth it. Don't. Mid parry is good to do when she doesn't have meter, but when she has meter and she's in soul charge like that, don't do it. It's a lot to keep track of, but it's something that's important. I think it's really important. What do I do here? I don't remember. I just soul charge out. That's good. I think it's fine. I joined for a tech crouch there. Check trap there. I fucked it up though. He goes for B here. Yep. 3A. That was supposed to be a punish, but online got me there. I don't miss old White Rose links. Yeah, it was insane, man. It was insane. Okay, so second game, he switched to Grow, so I'm not going to go over that. Especially... we're not going to go over that. There's no reason to. Okay, we're back on Amy versus Talim. This match... I think I get right roses really quickly in this match, I believe. I was warmed up and whatnot, and I just like roll. I just start rolling. I just started getting every white rose in the book. Like, look at that. This is something that works offline as well. Even though it's like it looks online-y. 4v plus K's at like this range, she can't contest you no matter what. You cannot try to punish Talim. Talim cannot punish Amy for doing this in any situation, even offline. There's no way she doesn't have the range. Maybe not even this patch. Even when she's that quick, she can't do it. Because I was playing Win the other day, and you couldn't touch. You couldn't even get in range. You can. I just sliced up in 2-2 bead. I was just like, I know he's just gonna run up and try to do something, and I didn't think he'd do 6-6A, so I just sliced up 2-2 bead. She can't whiff punish it at all. That's why 4B plus K is so good in the matchup. And I just 1B him to death on the wall. This is so dumb. I just 2-1-4 bead. I was just like, fuck it. I have such a life lead. She doesn't get a big punish. Oh, he could have killed me. Or not killed me, but... he could have done a lot of damage there. It's hard to hit confirm, though. Mid parry the 3. Okay. Alright, I have purple now. Now I just... see, I'm still in my set. I said earlier, you need to be aggressive and be defensive at the same time against Talim, because if you're too aggressive, you can get counter hit by her stuff, but if you're too defensive, she'll just run her mind games. As you can see, I'm very, still very aggressive because I'm Amy, but I'm also very active on defense and constantly disrespecting her. The only time you don't see me disrespecting her is just when she is +10 and +8, like after she punishes me. But when she does her plus unblock transitions and stuff, that's when you see me. I just challenge it almost every time. What was that? Let me see this again. Oh, I didn't challenge this here. I don't know why I didn't 3A. I guess I thought Winslow A plus B was coming. But then anyways, I just took the mix up, which is not good. This does a lot of damage. Guts Purple Rosy does a lot. I believe he dies to 6A, yep. He woke up, did a high. You can't do that against Amy. Ever. No matter who you are. It doesn't work, because Amy's always tech crouching. It's so dumb. Oh my god, he's dead. This is also another thing. Talim has so many highs, and look how much damage we get. We get one read on a high, she dies. Half her life. Soul attack? Yep. That was a fat finger. I remember this. I RI'd and I don't know why my brain didn't just mid parry, but I know I remember RIing and I got reverse ledge. And I was like, oh no. I did not want this. Now I'm gonna have to guess. And then I forgot reverse ledge B rings out that far. He somehow didn't go out there. Nowadays, I would just replace all these 4BBs with 6SB, by the way, guys. All these situations where you see me 4BBing, I be 3Bing or 6SBing now. It doesn't change too much. The only thing that you lose is that we can't wall pressure people. We can't just shove people into walls and do that. Just like that. You just get purple, and it's really hard for Talim to do much as soon as you get it. Oops, my bad, guys. Alright, let's pull up another match. I was trying to find games earlier today. So we... Oh, wrong set. Sorry. This is from December 4th, 2019. Holy. I think this is right when Amy got, this is Season 2 came out. It would... Talim 6BK could be mid-parried in that patch. By Amy. You could just OS 6BB, 6BK, and 6BB hold. Man, Talim in that patch was fucking so bad. I thought her and Nightmare were just... Oh, man. How far they both came. I think they're both now very strong. Okay, as you can see, I'm... look, just... What am I doing in neutral all the time? 3A. 3A. That's just my entire neutral against this character, because it does so much against her. It's like, the move is already one of the best moves in the game. Probably the best... It was the best move in the game last patch. Probably still is. It's even stronger against Talim, because she's so many highs, and you can disrespect her so much with it. Alright, go back on this. He just guessed right. Amy doesn't have a punish for this. I remember I thought 6SB could punish this, and I was wrong. It's too slow. Punish this? Yep. 14. See, there's another situation for 4B plus K, just hard for her to deal with it. It's constantly making the Talim player have to go back into resetting neutral, and they don't want to do that. They really don't want to do that. It makes it really hard for her to do much. This is it looks like a traditional early rounds against Talim. It's kind of annoying. Like, it definitely doesn't feel great in the early rounds against Talim as Amy. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely don't like it. No-res Amy against Talim is really obnoxious. Because if she makes a read on you, she gets a lot of damage, and if you make a read in the early rounds, you don't get much. But then as the game goes on, it changes. It changes even bigger. Wow, what an interaction. What did I do there? I dropped my combo. I 2-2 beat, I remember that. Yeah, I saw reverse ledge and I just 2-2 beat because he didn't swing into it. Wow, that was... I could have gotten 2-2B there. Definitely would have not done that nowadays. I definitely would have gotten more damage. I guess wrong. This is like a traditional, like, I'm going to just run it, and then I'm pretty sure I just run it. I just turn into White Res Amy and Talim can't do much. Usually nowadays I get this a lot quicker against Talim. Except from Wind, I would say. Grandma's actually too. He can be kind of hard to get it on. I think them have some of the best defensive defense against Amy when it comes to Talim players. So that's why in the early rounds you see me struggling a little bit more because against like Grandma's, because he actually has really solid defense against her. But this is what tends to happen though. As soon as I get white though, I just shut her. I shut her down so hard. That was really bad by me. Duck under it, full crash decay. As you can see, I'm full crash decaying so much in this matchup. It's so strong against Talim. Nice, that was nicely led by Grandmas. 214B. This used to catch backstep. 4A, 214B caught backstep. It doesn't do that anymore because 4A is -4 on hit now. Oh my god, the cheese. I hit him with the mid parry AB. Holy shit. I'm such an online warrior. Wow. What a combo. Wow, that was really insane. I wasn't ready to that move, used to that move yet. I would have seen that nowadays. And he's dead. That's all I do when I have white in this matchup. I just 3A, full crash 3K, 214B stances. That's like your core way to play against Talim is aiming. You just constantly have to have an active defense. Oh man, I hate that. That's my biggest advice when it comes to fighting Talim as any character. Just be active in your defense and you will do a lot better. She's not as scary as she's funny enough, I think she's a lot more scary when she's out of her stance and doing like wall raising B into something. That's when you don't want to disrespect the character. You want to disrespect the character when she gets into the stances more of. Does she have options to deal with it? Yeah, but those options don't do much damage or they're really minus. She has to take a big risk. This song is so good. 4-4-B, man. As you can see, Grandma's is doing a lot of 4-4-B because it's so good. Now that I have white, it's not nearly as good, but even still, it's an amazing tool against her. Also, this interaction was really funny. I went back. Oh well. I jumped over his 4-4-B with that. Full crash 3K. Safe. There's a big reason why I didn't do anything here. Why I didn't duck or mash. Because ducking or mashing here can get you killed. It's safer to just chill. You could easily die. If you mash buttons or, what's it called? Duck there. Yep, I knew he'd do that. Get the red rose. Nice. And traditional high parry B damage, because this interaction was interesting. That should not have hit him, but I digress. And then I win. And Winsalt K is -22. Yeah, a lot of the time though, I still can't punish it for some reason. Like I will do 4BB immediately, and Amy still doesn't punish it. MDR nerf Amy. True, she did. Nerf her again. Nerf her a 4th time. I agree. All right. While I'm on VODs, if you guys don't follow Grandmas or Fire, go support them. Great, amazing players. They're really good at this game, and I don't know if Fire's still playing. Grandma's, I heard he's getting back into it. The only reason I'm not showing any of my matches versus Wind Charmer, who I usually play Talim against, is because those sets are so, like, it's not like first to two. These sets are not, they're not in depth. Like, like this set against Grandma's, because Grandma's and I were really like trying to play alongside against one another, and my fire set was a competitive like tournament set. My sets against Wind Charmer, it's kind of hard to explain what is going on because it's so in depth and so much more about what we know about each other. Like that when we play, it's not more of the matchup and more of each other. We're playing the player versus the player than more of the character versus the character at that point because we played so much. Or I would just show my matches against him. So I wanted to show other characters to like explain what's it called? What it's like to play them in like a tournament or in a long set. Okay. I think I have covered I've covered almost everything that I can think of. If there's anything else that I can cover, guys, let me know. I can cover it now. Because I do want to I might play a little bit Caliber. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But if there's any more questions, guys, let me know. On any character against Talim. Or Amy. How my Azo Lee is saying we play too much? Yeah. I think that was pretty helpful. That was my first time doing anything like in depth in a guide, so I wrote some notes down in advance, and I was looking at them every now and then, but I just stutter a little too much when I'm talking, so and what I'm thinking in my head doesn't always come out of my mouth. They don't translate sometimes too well, so sorry for those lots of stuttering, guys. It happens. I can't think of anything else to cover that would be character specific. Okay, cool. Alright, then I will try to upload this to YouTube. I will try to upload this to YouTube sometime tonight so then people can go back and watch it. And then I can answer their questions if they left anything in the VOD. I think I read an Amy comment. Amy versus Talim comment earlier, and I'll answer that first, or answer that, and then I'm gonna be done with the guide. I'll be at work. When you catch Talim doing RE, what's the best answer? Okay, I went on about that. In neutral, I think some Talim players stay at a distance, and when they attempt a backflip into wind cannon, that does huge damage. Oh, when Talim players start doing wind, like they do this a lot? I think this is what he's talking about. When they do something like, or not that, more of like this. This is what I think he's talking about. Well, if you get hit by 1k, 4B plus k, it's still great. Again, when they're doing this a lot to you, this means you're being too predictable on your approach, and you're being pretty obvious in how you're playing. Because you really shouldn't be getting hit by this unless you're really just you're being a little too predictable with your approachment, or what's it called? Like I explained, if it's in stances and what's not, it doesn't happen too often that she's gonna wind cannon you, because she has to hard read you. But if she's in neutral doing this, usually that means you're being a little too predictable with your approach, and or you should be challenging with things like what I said earlier, 4B plus K or 3A, because these options can't be wind cannoned at all. They'll never get you wind cannoned. That's why I don't usually tend to be in sets. I very rarely get hit by wind cannon unless it's in a combo. Amy as well, because I did play Aswell, I can give a couple tips, but I do think that matchup is very hard for Aswell. But I can give a couple tips, hold on. Who chases who? I just explained it. I think that, well, this is the thing. When each character has a life lead, I mean, whoever has the life lead usually tends to be the other one has to chase them. But also, at the same time, I tend not to chase Talim a lot of the time. I try not to chase her unless I have to. Because I think when Talim has to approach you, she gets significantly worse. Because then she has to use a unsafe approach. So do your best to not be the aggressor at all times. Or you do what I do, which is I run at Talim, and then I do like a bunch of backstepping. do stuff like this, like backstep off, run at them, and then randomly back off or 4B plus K like this to throw them off. Don't be so always just like this. Don't be like how you always are with Amy, where you're just like this on top of them, mashing buttons all the time. Be a little bit more with your movement. Move around more. Use your 4B plus Ks, backstep, sidestep. Use your movement a lot more against her. I think in general, that's a good tip for anyone. Now with Aswell, it's really hard, but I can give you a couple tips. I'll give a couple tips on the Aswell. I have tips for Aswell only because I used to play Aswell. This matchup has gotten significantly worse over the years. This matchup I thought used to be even in Season 1, but this matchup in Season 2 I think is like 6-4 Talim. Like, this is the one matchup I think Aswell just struggles in. He has such hard time dealing with a lot of her stuff. Like this. Like this, for instance, if he isn't neutral, this will track him a lot of the time. Like, unless he like hard sidesteps it. It's not even doing it. Earlier, when I was doing it with Blue God, this would track him, like, half the time. So I don't know what we did. I can't remember the specific scenario, but this will track him a lot of the time. And he can't step it. He doesn't have really good anti-airs for Talim, so your best option is to just AA. You have to AA her a lot when you see reversal edge. Like this. You'll see me do this. I'll just do this a lot. AA, sidestep, AA. Wow, it's not doing it. Why so? Do you guys see this? That's so weird. There you go. This is what you'll see me do a lot. If I swing in like an RE safe move into it and I'm in sword. Oh, AA again. And if she tech crouches it, not much I can do. You're Aswell. It sucks. I used to like shield in this matchup, but then they changed it. I don't know. My tips on Aswell are kind of hard to tell you because I don't know how to approach this matchup since the old seasons. Because the options that I used to do with Aswell don't work anymore. Like, you used to be able to punish this with full crouch 1B, so shield was pretty good in this matchup. But now this move is safe against shield. You can't punish this at all in shield. It sucks. I personally sit in sword a lot in this matchup. I do a lot of just grab I do a lot of grab, 2-2B, and whatnot, or try to run my mind games when I get a knockdown with Axe. It's really hard not to just be in sword because if you're in Axe, she jumps over all your moves. Like, she'll just jump over this half the time. The only thing good in Axe, I think, is 3BB. If you get 3BB, if you can, what's it called? If you somehow can step this, somehow. I don't know why Aswell can't step it for some reason. You do get a good point punish. I'm sorry if I don't have any tips for Aswell. Anti-Talim, how dare you? I am sorry, Fire. I actually had I showed some of our matchups from, when we played, from when our set played. I was telling them, I was like, because our set I thought was really good, and it was like a really like intense match, and it helped me like explain how to approach the matchup. Because like obviously I can't use Win because I play him all the time, so it's kind of hard to like use info for someone that I play often because I don't think it's more player versus player at that point. So I use like you and Grandboss because I think you guys are you guys are really competent in the matchup. Keelik B6 is like the equivalent of Amy 4B in this matchup. She'll run into it. Yeah. Keelik B6 is really good now. Against Talim, I bet. Warising B, I remember, is also used to be really annoying. Which set? It was our. It was the one where we played the 3 out of 5. In the Boominati League. It was like 3 or 4 months ago. It was from like 3 or 4 months ago. You played Talim, and then you played Grow, and then you played Talim. I didn't show the Grow match, obviously. So I just showed the 2 Talim games. Because the first game's really close. It was like 3-2, and I was 1 life. And I was explaining, like, where I was, like, fucking up on and whatnot. I was explaining, like, how, in the set you were 8Bing me a lot after my 3B, and I was telling them like, hey, I'm sure if Fire goes back to this, he would also agree. Like, you don't want to really 8B on 3B because then Amy both end up back turn, but Amy's back turn is a backflip. Yeah. Oh, that was horrible. I mean, game 1, we were really close. The game 2 and 3, it was kind of happened, but I think the game 1 was it was a really good match, and I think that was the one I really wanted to show because it was really, really close, and it really like showed what to do in the matchup. But game 2 and 3, yeah, understandable. A lot of people has been asking me for this guide for Anti-Talim stuff, so I told them I would help them out because a lot of people tend to struggle against her, and it's understandable. She's really complicated and has a lot to her. How do you feel about Talim this patch? Are you liking her more, liking her less, about the same? Alright. Tom, I still like Light a lot, but she feels pretty much the same. Yeah, that's what I said. I played, I was talking to Win about it, but, like, I don't really think she's that much. Like, people are saying she's a lot better, but I don't feel it. I feel like she feels about the same. I feel like she's healthier to fight. Like, personally, like I think she got some nice buffs, but also she got some good nerfs too. Like 6BB, wall raising B 6B, not tracking anymore is big. Reverse sledge, you be able to step Winslow A+B a lot of the time is nice. I like the way they're going with Talim. She feels still really good, really strong, but then she also has a lot more counterplay and what's it called? It doesn't feel as it feels like the Talim player has more to work with now, and she's a little bit more in depth. I think I like what they're doing. I really didn't like how Reverse Sledge was previous patches, personally. I really didn't like how it was. And I think it has a lot more counterplay now, or more counterplay than it did before. And now she has more neutral tools and whatnot. The 22A and 66A are pretty good. I don't. The 66B I don't like personally. As Amy, I just get a mid parry it now, which is funny. Yeah, same. I think Talim is cool and she's similar in strength. Yeah, I agree. I still think she's very strong. She's strong with good counterplay. What up, Cheetos? I just finished the guide, man. I just finished. I'll be uploading it to YouTube probably later tonight. I don't know how long have I been streaming now? 2 hours. It's almost an hour and a half guide. So there's a lot to go over. There's a lot. I went over a lot. It's it shows how scatterbrained I am. This guide is pretty scatterbrained at times. I'm not gonna lie. You definitely can see how my brain works in this guide. It's pretty funny. Okay. I think I'm gonna eat, guys. I know you just came in, Cheetos, but I think I'm gonna head out. I am kind of. I want to take a break. I'm gonna eat. I might stream later and stream some sets against people. If not, I'll probably be streaming tomorrow and stream some sets. I do want to stream again. Get back into streaming. Just streaming sets. And playing against people. If I can, I'll talk in Discord with people. If it gets to the point where you guys are saying it's too loud and you can't handle it, then I'll just leave the chat and then play the set, continue playing the set. But I do want to stream more. I thought it was fun. It was fun today. Also, I need to fix my followers. God, I turned on, what's it called? Alert box, but it's not going off. It's not, none of my sounds are going off for some reason. I don't know. 2BA is I-16 punish is better than what she used to have? Yeah, I mean, Talim's I-16 punish was never that good. CJ, I want to set sometime? Okay. I mean, I'm down later. Fuck it, I'm down now. Let's play. If you want, if you're not busy right now, we can play. If you're busy right now, then we can do it another time. You work 2 p.m. to midnight, Friday through Monday? Oh, okay. Then yeah, whenever you got time, man, we can play. I just got back, by the way. Then yeah, we can do it another time. I'm usually on, so whenever you see me on, just hit me up and we'll play. If we can't do it on this weekend, then we can probably do it on your days off. My sleep schedule is kind of normal-ish, so I probably won't be up when you get off. So we might have to do it on the weekdays, if that's okay. Alrighty. I think I'm going to... I don't know who's streaming. Who's the streaming? Taokaka's Meow, Nova Mage, Zed. Alright. Taokaka's Meow, Nova Mage or Zed, guys? Who would you guys want me to send you to? I'm down for any of them. Yeah, I'm off TWT. Okay. Zed is fine? Okay, I'll send you guys to Zed. What is it? Engine underscore Z. Okay. Alright, guys. I will send you over to him. Underscore Z. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. I appreciate it, and asking the questions and whatnot. Can I not raid anymore? Where's the raid? Weird. I'm typing I'm typing in /raid and it's not coming up. Weird. Do I have to do it on Twitch? I thought I could do it through Steam, through OBS. I guess not. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I have to do it on Twitch, weirdly enough. Alright guys, have a good one. I will probably talk to you guys either later tonight or tomorrow. I will put a thing out on Twitter if when I do.